Hello everyone, welcome to Tangle with Tracy Ann. Today I'll be using the Tangle Spoken, and in the background I'll show you how to create a bokeh effect using coloured pencils. If you're not familiar with the term bokeh, it's that out of focus blurry effect that you sometimes see in a photograph. As you can see in these images, you often get those soft little circles appearing. We'll try to recreate this effect today. Today I'll be working on a rectangular tile. This one's 5" by 3.1" and it's the same size as the Phi tiles that you can purchase from Zentangle.com. I'll also be using a micron pen, a pencil and tortillon. So I'll start by drawing a border with my 4 dots and a border, and then draw another one in the center. I've just penciled in a little circle there, so I'm going to outline that with my Micron 01, and then I'm going to form some spokes. I've chosen to do curved spokes, and each time I draw a spoke, I add an aura line that's parallel to it. Make your way around the circle, drawing these spokes all in the same direction. You'll notice that each time I draw one of these spokes, I'm taking the line right up to that outer border. Once I've got all the way around that circle, I'm going to come back the other way, and it's as if I'm extending the first spokes as if they're wrapping around that circle. Each time, bend around the circle and create another arc that goes right up to that outer border. I'm not happy with the amount of spokes I have on there, so I'm going to add some more. And I'll start in one direction and try and fit in between the others that I have, that I started in that direction, and go all the way around. If the spaces between your spokes isn't even, it doesn't really matter. Just continue on, it doesn't have to be perfect. I have enough spokes in that direction. Now I'm going to use the same approach as I did before, and going in the other direction, continue the lines that I've just drawn, as if they're bending around that orb in the center. Well, it's not really the center. You may also notice that when I come to another line, I stop and then pick up that line again on the other side, as if the new line is sitting behind. Now that my spoken tangle is finished, I'm going to go over that border that I did right at the beginning, and notice I'm also drawing that as if it's sitting behind my tangle. Whoops, that doesn't quite match up. Just checking to see if you were paying attention. Don't worry if you make little mistakes like that. I purposely leave them in so that you can see you can get past things as you go along. No mistakes in Zentangle. I'll also go around the outer edge with my pen as well. If you don't have any coloured pencils, you could go ahead now that we finished our pattern and colour it in however you like with whatever materials you have on hand. Today I'll be using Prismacolor pencils, but you could use any brand. I've made myself a swatch chart so that I can pick out my colours. As you can see here, it's much easier to pick a colour palette before you begin. I'll start with a white pencil, and then I quite like that light pink, and this is called Light Peach. It's number 927. And I'll move along, and I want something that will blend nicely with it, so I like this blush pink. It's number 928, blush pink. And moving across, now some of these are too pink. I want that warm undertone, so I'll choose this pink, which is number 929. And again, those colours are very purpley, so I'll head up to the magenta. That's number 930. And last of all, something dark but will blend with those colours, and that's Crimson Lake, and that's number 925. You could choose whatever colours you like. Just pick one sort of colour and find various shades in that same colour. You can see I've started with the light peach colour, and I'm just drawing some circles. I'm varying the size, and I'm doing them randomly. Some of them sit behind the pattern, and you notice I've also decided to just do this pattern in that border, that inner border. I'm using small circular motions with my pencil and just going around the edge. I'm not pressing very heavily, and then I'm going over that with the white, and the white's dragging just a little bit of that soft peach into the circle, so it's not a brilliant white, just a nice soft fuzzy colour. And I'll do that with all these circles that I've just drawn. I started with my lightest colours, and now I'm using the next lightest colour, which is the blush pink. And I'm just again using those circular motions and going around the edge, blending this colour into the original light peach colour. I'm still not pressing very hard. It's really important to build up the layers, and you'll get the pencil blending with each other much better. It does take a little patience, but it is worth it in the end. I've picked up again that lighter colour and going back over, so you'll find that you go in and out of using one colour and blending it with another. Now I'm going to that next darkest colour and blending again with what I have already on the page, and I'm also making a little circle in this pink. And I'm colouring the whole circle this time. Whenever we make these little circles, whatever we put next to it has to have a little bit of a variation in colour. That way the circles do appear. So I'm using the pink around the edge of the blush pink and going back into the centre with that lighter colour, that light peach colour. I might even add a little bit of white. The colours are so soft, that second circle that I've made doesn't really stand out, but we'll keep adding layers of colour, and I can just add some darker ones. It's much better to start with your lighter colours and then bring the darker colours in afterwards. I keep alternating my colours. So in the background of these circles, there's going to be variation going from light to dark. So wherever I have a light colour, the colour next to it will be darker. So I have some circles that are light with a darker background behind them, and then circles that are dark with a lighter background behind them. And once you get started, you'll realise that this is how you do it. I'm just showing you in this top corner how I build up the colours. See, now I'm adding that darker colour. I don't think I'll be using too much of the really dark colour. This is the magenta. So I'm just very softly introducing that in. And if it's looking a little bit too dark, I can come back in with one of those lighter colours to make it blend in much easier. Now that you've got the idea of how I'm building the colour, I'm just going to go right through the whole border and add this next pink colour. This is the blush pink, and with some of them I'm going to draw these circles as if they're sitting behind the other circles that I have there. Again, do it randomly. Some can sit on their own and some can overlap. I'm just building up a background with rough outlines of the circles and where they're going to be placed. That way I have a balance of colour throughout the whole piece. Now I'll do the same thing with the pink. Once you've laid down some circles, you can start working on the background again. As you build up the layers, you'll start noticing that you need to press a little bit harder with your pencil until finally you get a burnished effect. All that tooth of the paper is completely flattened. Hopefully you've got the hang of this by now, so I'll go ahead and finish the rest of it and come back to you. So there it is. You might find a brush handy, because once you start pressing harder with these Prismacolors, you get a little bit of shavings coming off them. And if you do find that you're getting smudges on your pattern, just go in very gently with an eraser. I'm going to make this circle into a gem, so I'll start by drawing an aura and then fill that aura with little orbs. Once I've done that, I'm going to use the same coloured pencils as I did for the outside. So starting with your lighter colours, put a little lighter spot towards the bottom of this orb, and then just gradually build up the colour towards the edge, each time getting a little bit darker, until finally you've got a really dark edge. Then I can come back and repeat the process till I build up that colour and get a nice looking gemstone. I'm using the Crimson Lake now to draw some veins, and I didn't mention black right in the beginning, but I'm going to add some black veins and then a little bit of shading towards the outer edge of this gem. To create some sparkle, I'll add a little bit of white gel pen. Now for the background, I'm just using the Tangle Tipple as a filler, just to bring the spokes of Spoken to the front a little bit, and that background can sit behind. A white gel pen comes in handy too, so that you can clean up your lines a little bit if you've got them a little bit dirty from the pencils. I'm going to go in now too and go over my lines. I've thickened the borders a little bit because I found that they were getting a little bit dirty from the coloured pencils. I'm adding a little bit of shading now, just where those spokes overlap, and once I've done that, I'll use my tortillon to blend them in. I'll also add a little bit of shadows around the edge of that box. And there's my finished piece.
I hope you found that video useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of my videos, subscribe to my channel. I post a video every week, so if you're subscribed, you don't miss out. If you'd like to post your work in my Facebook group, there is a link below this video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next week, stay safe and bye for now. As I've said before, if you'd like to see more of my videos, head over to my YouTube channel, or there are a couple of links here on the screen. And there's a subscribe button